Hey, what's up, everybody? It is February 18th, 2020, which means we are ready for this week's TNT Tuesday. All right, so last year I ran across a YouTube video and I absolutely fell in love with it. The guy's name is Jerry Rutherford, and he is an absolute genius because Jerry went out there and was taking a look at what he is calling weird gears. And we've heard different names for these. They're called non-circular gears. They're called organic gears. Jerry simply calls them weird gears. And you know, there's actually some people out there creating YouTube videos on how to go out there and create these organic gears. And Jerry took AutoCAD, our good old trusted friend AutoCAD. Don't snicker at me. Yeah, I said AutoCAD. That's been around for almost 40 years, and he figured out some code to plug in AutoCAD. And basically what we can do is go out there and draw the gear that we want to sort of start with, and then AutoCAD will go out there and create the mating gear. So we can bring these two gears together, and you know, we can use them and basically whatever we want to use them. We can go out there, laser cut them. We can go out there and plug these into Inventor if we want, and that's where I'm sort of kicking in. But I'm going to go out there and just show you exactly what Jerry has figured out. Jerry, you are the man. All right, I just want to say you are awesome for figuring this out. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. I want to be showing you exactly what Jerry is going to be explaining in these videos. So what you first need to know is if you look down below in the description, you can find the YouTube video that Jerry has put together, and then there's also a website. All right, so those are the two things we're going to be using for this. So in case you're looking for them, that's where you can find them. So when we go ahead and get started with this, all right, here's what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and go to Jerry's website. When we get to Jerry's website, you're going to see that there is a DWG. All right, there are two of them out there. You just want to go out there and pick on this Weird Gear Maker DWG, and we're going to go ahead and open that in AutoCAD. All right, and when we open this in AutoCAD, this is what we're going to see. So just a couple things real quick. All right, what we're seeing here on the left, this is going to be the area where Jerry's code is going to go out there and create the mating gear. And then what we have here on the right is we have this second small red circle. We're going to be drawing our gear inside that area, and basically it's going to be matching up with what we draw. All right, so let's just go ahead and let's get started with that first. All right, understanding that. So the ratio on this is 2-to-1, so keep that in mind. All right, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. That's how this is set up. And I'm sure if we went out there and we were taking a look at the code, we could figure out how to get this set up for a 1-to-1, but let's just go with what Jerry has. All right, so the second part of this is when you go out there into Jerry's website, you're going to be seeing this guy here called weirdgear360.scr. What we're going to do is go ahead and pick on that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all the code that makes up that SCR file. I'm going to go ahead and do a right click and a copy, and I'm going to come down here and just open up Notepad. So when I open up Notepad, what I'm going to do is go ahead and just paste all that code that Jerry just gave us on that website. I'm going to come up here to File. I'm going to do a Save As. I've already created a folder out there called Weird Gears. I'm going to go ahead and just call this Weird Gears, and then this is the most important part, is .scr. All right, that is the file extension, okay, for a script file. We're going to talk about that more in just a second. So let's go ahead and save that. All right, so if you're asking what a script file is, here's basically how it works with AutoCAD. We can go out there, we can start typing in all of our commands, we can start drawing and creating awesome things with AutoCAD. But a long time ago, somebody figured out, well, what if we just go out there and just take all these commands that we basically know is going to go out there and create a drawing, and we can keep track of all those commands and basically just build a script, hence why we call them script files. And basically AutoCAD will just go out there and bring all those commands in with a script file, and it's just a speed typer, and it's going to go out there and do exactly what it is we're telling it to do within the script. That's exactly what we're going to be doing, okay, with Jerry's script file. All right, but before that, we have to go out there and create the gear that we want to start with. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start right out here, and he's got snap and grid on. That's just gross. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come out here and begin drawing our gear first. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just say this is what I want my gear to look like. I'm going to have this lobe on top, and I'm going to come out here and use array. And once I punch in array, I'm going to select this lobe. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to use polar. And I'm going to bring 6 of those around, okay, just like so. I can now come out here and trim. All right, just to give us sort of this sprocket looking gear, like so. All right, now here's the thing. If you're not really familiar with the AutoCAD world, all right, it's not going to be working the same as Inventor. So what we're going to do is go ahead and use join, and I'm going to select all that geometry that makes up my weird gear that I just created just a second ago. All right, just know all the same rules apply in AutoCAD that it does in Inventor. It has to be a closed loop, and when I pick on that, I can see my highlight is indicating that that is a closed loop. All right, so a couple other things real quick. I want to come out here and find out what the distance of this circle is from here to here. And I can see that is a distance of 0.2. So it's a diameter of 0.2. I'm going to go ahead and match that as well. So I'm going to come out here and draw a circle starting from this center point. D for diameter, I'm going to say that is 0.2. All right, and it's gone out there and created that. I'm going to go ahead and just orbit this over just a little bit, same as we do in Inventor. And now I'm going to come out here and do an extrude. So I'm going to extrude this large gear on the outside and this small circle on the inside. Hit enter. All right, and I'm just going to tell you right now, Jerry has made that other gear, it has an extrusion of 0.5, so I'm going to go ahead and say 0.5 on that. All right, so it's kind of hard to see what it is we're working with right now because we're in this 2D wireframe. So I'm going to go ahead and jump this over and go into conceptual. All right, so something with AutoCAD we weren't really used to with Inventor is we have to tell it to subtract. So it's the same thing as cut in the Inventor world, just something a little bit different, and a sequence is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and type in subtract. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to grab this large gear on the outside first and hit enter. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to find that cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And now we can see that that is a true object. All right, it is a solid model, okay, to work with. So I'm going to jump back over here into my top view. Now I'm going to come here and change this over to 2D wireframe. All right, and we are basically ready to go. So watch how this works. I'm going to come down to my command line and I'm going to type in script. It's now going to be asking me what file I want to use as my script file. I'm looking in my Weird Gears folder. There's my Weird Gears SCR file that I went and saved from Notepad earlier. I'm going to go ahead and say open on this, and it's going to pinwheel for a second, and then the magic is going to start happening with the code. So what's happening in here is we're taking this weird gear that I created, and Jerry has shifted that over into that first small red circle. All right, and what he's doing is he's rotating this, but what he's doing is once he rotates that just a little bit, he's then using the subtract feature, and it's subtracting from that larger overall cylinder that we saw, you know, just a couple minutes ago over there on the left. He's going to do this for the full 360 degrees. Okay, and when this happens, when we get the full 360, we are now going to be seeing that mating gear that this is going to be able to mesh up with. All right, so once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and just orbit this over. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my conceptual visual style, and now we have two mating gears that we can work with. All right, so once we have that, this is just going to be the first part of this. This is going to be a two-part series. Once we have that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this and this. I'm going to bring those over to here. I'm going to be switching this back over to 2D wireframe, and what I'm going to be doing is using rectangle. I'm going to put a rectangle right over the top of that. I'm now going to type in the command section. I'm going to pick on this gear and this gear. I'm going to hit enter and then type in O for object, hit enter, and then select the rectangle on the outside and hit enter. All right, and when I do that, here's what's kind of cool, is I'm going to be able to grab this gear and hit delete, grab this gear and hit delete, and now I have two profiles that I'm going to use, okay, for the remainder of this. All right, so we're taking this, what we're going to be doing is taking this from the AutoCAD environment, bringing this into the Inventor environment, and that's where we're going to pick up next week, and we're going to finish this up, take this over to our Inventor environment using those profiles that we just got from AutoCAD. So you're right, for those of you who are laughing, making fun of me, AutoCAD is old, I get it, 1982 version 1.0, I get it, it is old, but it still has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. It's great stuff, and let's just see how we can get this to talk to Inventor next week, all right, to get what we're looking for our classroom. So there you go, that is it for this week's TNT Tuesday. Have a great week.